Hi, Catherine.
Hope you had a nice international break.
Yeah, it was nice.
Obviously, just wanted to check on the fitness of players. I know Lauren James was due from the England squad. A couple of people that were injured already for the international break. How's everyone doing?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, LJ just came back from international break with an hamstring injury. So we already assessed her, but we still need to assess her again earlier next week, to see how she's recovering and going. So we'll go week by week, but she won't be available for the game tomorrow. And for the rest of the squad, yes, some players had some little things, but nothing serious. So everyone will be involved in the squad for the game tomorrow. And we have Guro Reiten, who is back in the squad. And Miley St. Pomé and Naomi Girma not too far, really close to get back to the squad, maybe next week.
And Sam Kerr went away with Australia during the international break to kind of relink with them. How was that for her, and how important kind of was it as part of her recovery process?
Yeah, really important for her. First of all, mentally, because she had the chance to be around the national team, which is something really important for her. But also, she could see her family, which is really nice for someone to have the opportunity to do that. It was part of the process with Sam, but I think we still have for a few weeks away from her returning fully on the pitch. So again, it's difficult to put a time frame on Sam.
I just wondered what your thoughts were on having an international break in April, because it feels like it's the busiest part of the season domestic-wise, and you obviously had those four, grueling games against Man City before the international break, and then there's a lot of fixtures in a short space of time. I just wondered whether you think maybe, in the future, whether you think this break could come earlier or at a different time in the season.
We already had some conversations, and we made some decisions. We moved out the September window, which was a good thing for the clubs, because sometimes when the players had big tournaments in the summer, especially in August, we felt as clubs sometimes we didn't have time to prepare them going into the season. They were coming back from the big tournament, and sometimes we only had them for 1 week, 10 days, and they were going again. So I think it was a good thing. So I think it will be difficult maybe in the future to move this April window, even if in the men's game they removed it. But I think maybe in the women's game it will take some time. The only thing we can control, and what I can say, it's like we are really happy to be in that situation. It means we are still competing for 3 competitions. We are really busy with a busy schedule, but this is the place we want to be. And I think most of the teams would love to be in our place. So what we can control is to make sure anytime the players are going with national team, we have a really good communication with the staff, which is the case for all the players we have. And we are trying to do the best for them to stay fit.
Just finally, you mentioned obviously another competition, Liverpool on Saturday, for a chance to get to Wembley FA Cup final. What are you expecting from them, and how much would you like to get that chance to play at Wembley for the first time as Chelsea manager?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Liverpool is in a really good run, really good dynamic in terms of results and performances. So we expect to face a team who will be hugely motivated for the game tomorrow. As you just said, it's a semi-final for the FA Cup. Final in Wembley, it says a lot just for the motivation both teams will bring into the game. And we expect a tough game again, because they, as I said, they have been in a good run with good results. So we also want to focus on ourselves. I know if we play our best version, we can qualify for the final. We play home with the support of the fans. So I think, it's a lot of positives.
Thanks, Catherine. Tom, please.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Tom.
Speaking to us. I wanted to kind of just piggyback on that point from Catherine about Wembley, and obviously I know you have the challenge of Liverpool before that, but what would it mean for the team to play at Wembley again, and then also for yourself personally to manage at Wembley? What does Wembley mean to you?
As you said, first of all, we need to focus on the game tomorrow to have the opportunity to play and to qualify for the final. But for me, Wembley represents football in England. And when you look at the games who have been played there for the women's team, the men's team, it's a lot of history. The stadium is being almost sold out anytime the women's team play there. So it's a big opportunity for every player, every manager to be part of that. It will be a really positive thing for me if we can qualify for the final. But again, first of all, the focus is on the game tomorrow, really important.
And I wanted to ask you a little bit more specifically about Naomi Girma. Is there any chance that she would be included in the squad on this weekend?
Yeah, no, I just said no, not for this weekend. I think it's too soon, but she's really close. So she should be included in the squad for the Barcelona game.
And I just wanted to ask you about over the international break. Do you get the chance to sit down and enjoy the games, because you don't have the pressure of managing them, or are you just worried about your players, watching your players, and if they're going to be injured or play well?
No, it's important as a staff. We just go through all the games and we share the games. So everyone in the staff needs to observe our players. So that's really important. And I get the chance to observe most of them. That's really important for me to watch my players when they are with the national team. And so sometimes I'm watching double screen, 3 screens in the same time. So it's difficult to really know what is going on. You just see all the goals, and sometimes it's more difficult to follow the individual performances, but really nice to watch my players. I think we should be proud to have that many players representing their country in the club. So I was myself a national team player, and I think that's something really positive. You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom. We're going to jump across to Zoom now, please. Can we come to you, Amy? Thank you for waiting.
All right. Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Amy.
I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Lola Brown, who I think here in England we know a lot about what a talent she is, but I just wonder what you think she's gaining from, this kind of period of the season where you're playing huge games every 3 days, and she's kind of getting to see what it takes to be at the very top level from a mental perspective as well as, with her talent.
Yeah, I agree with you. Lola is a really young, talented player. She just came back from international duties. She had good performances. She scored a hat-trick on her last game, which is good for her individually. I think she is one of the most talented young players for England. I'm really happy to work with her. She really has the right mentality. She's being around the team since the beginning of the season, and I think she's learning about how to become a professional player. She already knows a lot about it, and I think just watching the example coming from some leaders in the team, it's really good for her. But I really appreciate her as a player, but also as a person. She has the right mentality. She works really hard, and she's always keen to receive some information to make some progress.
How important do you think that is, that she has that mentality? Is that quite a hard thing to teach a player, do you think?
Yeah, my vision on that is I think you have this on yourself, or if you don't have this mentality, it's really difficult to teach that to someone. You can make some progress, but if it's not inside yourself, it's more difficult. So I think Lola has all this winning mentality, ruthless mentality. She works really hard, and that's something really positive.
Thanks, Sonia. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Dan, can we come to you next, please?
Hey, Sonia, hope you're well.
Yeah.
Just
Hi,
one question
Dan.
from me. I know recently, you've been kind of pushed to the limit by the likes of Brighton and West Ham, who've obviously got points against you. Similar level probably to Liverpool in terms of the danger that they bring. So, what have you learned about your team and kind of how you approach those games?
Yeah, you're right. We had a review this morning with the team, and we talked a little bit about that. And in March we dropped 4 points against Brighton in the beginning of the block, and the last game in the block. I think, as you just mentioned, as a team we can't drop our standards like we did in that games. I think it's up to us to make sure we have this ruthless mentality as a team. For the game tomorrow, I just want to see the best version of Chelsea on the pitch. And probably the best version of ourselves is the game we had against Man City, the second leg in the Champions League quarter-finals, but also the 31st minutes we played against West Ham. And I think, if you analyze these games, every details are really important. So we just need to make sure the details for tomorrow are set up and we execute the game plan on the right way.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Aisha, can we come to you, please?
Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
Nice to see you. You've got incredible 4 weeks ahead. FA Cup semi-final, Champions League semi over 2 legs, and the WSL to go and win. Is this, would you say, the most important month of your Chelsea career so far? And how do you make sure you keep those high standards that you've been having throughout the season?
As you just said, that's the home straight. I think the most decisive and important moment of the season, not only for me as a manager, but for the entire club, staff and players together. I feel we are ready for that. This club has been about making history, winning titles, and that's the time of the year we can do that. So as you just mentioned, we are still in 3 competitions, and we have the opportunity to play against the best teams in Europe, big games, and that's the opportunity for us to just show our best version and our level. And making sure we keep high standards, as you just mentioned. I think that's important to show that in the big games coming.
And Aggie Beever-Jones has been so good for you guys this season, and it was really nice to see her get her first international goal as well. How proud were you to see that and see her proving herself on the international stage as well?
Yeah, really proud, especially because Aggie is doing well. She's working hard also. We were talking about Lola having the right mentality. I think Aggie is the same. She works really hard. She has the right mentality. She played a lot with us, and I think she deserved to play with England. She earned that by her hard work she put on the pitch. And I was really proud of the fact she was able to score her first goal. It means a lot for her, and it means a lot for us as well.
Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sandra, next, please.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Sandra.
Excuse me. I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. I was just, you were talking a little earlier about, obviously you said you don't want to look too far ahead, but Wembley and what it means to you in terms of it being, representative of English football. But I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are on the FA Cup as a competition, your memories of maybe watching it in the past, and how you feel about, taking Chelsea to this point and the prospect of obviously that first final as Chelsea manager.
The FA Cup means history again for me. I think there are always games where you can see some drama. Sometimes it's cup games, so sometimes you can go to penalties. Sometimes you have big names who are just out of the competition, and I think that's exciting for everyone. So hopefully tomorrow it won't be the case for us. We will go through, but again, we need to make sure tomorrow we focus on the semi-final. We know how good Liverpool can be. They proved that in the last games they had against big teams. They were able to beat Arsenal and had some good games also against Man United. So I think we need to be prepared for that. And I just want to make all the focus on the game tomorrow.
Absolutely. And just talking of that, talking of Liverpool, obviously we saw, you mentioned that win against Arsenal, and they were quite tenacious, I would say, against Arsenal. But we've seen with Chelsea, got different ways to win this season, whether it's the pretty football or that performance in the final against City, where was it Bright was talking about put the bodies on the line and just throw your body in front of the ball if anything. How important is it to have those different ways to win, particularly when you face a team like Liverpool who it could be a scrap sometimes? Yeah,
really important. First of all, I would say maybe to also be unpredictable for the opposition. I think that's really important when you find different ways to win. As I already mentioned, I think before, it's always for the manager, really important to make sure we perform and we get a good results. But sometimes you need to give some credit to the opponent, and when it's more difficult, you have to find a way to win. So yeah, sometimes it's with a really good style of football. Sometimes it's more with a direct style of football, transition style. But yeah, if you find a way to win, that's the most important, especially coming in this time of the season.
So just one more. I mean, you talked about Aggie Beever-Jones there, and we saw obviously the senior debut go for England. But what more would do you think that she can go to? I mean, what more would you like to see from her in terms of that potential and the level she can reach?
I would say she's already doing well with us. I'm really pleased with her performances. I think she's having an impact, giving some assists and scoring some goals. That's the most important for her, to be able to have these statistics. But yeah, now it's for her maybe time to be consistent and yeah, to be able, when she's starting a game from the beginning until the end of the game, to get this consistency. But she's already doing a good job, so yeah, it's just keep going like this, and yeah, she will improve again more and more. But we are already really pleased with her performances and the impact she has for the team.
That's great. Good luck. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Last but not least, David, please. Thanks for waiting.
You're very welcome. Hello, Sonia.
Hi, David.
Just want to talk a bit more about, Keira Walsh, because Keira Walsh, I believe, scored her first ever goal during the international break. How pleased are you that she finally got her goal for England, and do you think she can sort of bring back to the midfield at Chelsea?
Yeah, really proud also about Keira, the fact she scored her first goal. I was a little bit surprised because I didn't know it was only her first goal. She was happy as well, so it's really nice for her confidence. Yeah, Keira is an important player for us. She has a lot of leadership on the pitch. She just brings her calmness and her quality in possession of the ball. She's so smart. She's able to read the game. And she's really important in that position in front of the back line. Yeah, because she's, as I said, she has a lot of experience and she's smart enough to control the game. So, yeah, really pleased to have her with us in Chelsea. But also, we just mentioned some young players as Lola, Keira scoring her first goal, Aggie scoring her first goal for England. I think, yeah, all the English people should be proud to have these players in Chelsea and in England, because they are world-class players and they are making a big impact for the women's game.
And with Chelsea got a trophy already this season, how important have the more experienced players have been in terms of helping the likes of Lola Brown, captain, in terms of not only helping them on the pitch but off the pitch, but also instilling that winning mentality at Chelsea? Do you think that's going to be really important when they take on Liverpool tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. As I said, we have the right balance in the squad. I think we have some young, talented players, and the experienced players are world-class players. They have a really good leadership in the team, and yeah, their leadership is really important for the young players, because they can learn their job and how to become a professional player being around them. So I think when I say we have the right balance, this squad is really well balanced in terms of leadership and how we help and support the young players to develop. And I think yeah, part of that is the job the leaders are doing in the team every day, in the building, on the pitch, training sessions, games. And I think that's really important to have this experience and yeah, this winning mentality coming from leaders.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bon chance.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. All right, one last cheeky question from Phil, please. Thank you.
Sorry to be cheeky.
Hi.
Hi, Sonia. Yeah, just looking back at the West Ham game, I just wonder, sort of on reflection now, what do you sort of make of what happened at the end of that game, and how important is it to sort of respond to what happened at the end this time around with, as you say, sort of a ruthless performance, and I don't know, sort of to send a message almost?
Yeah, I just said that this ruthless mentality, we need to be more consistent during the game from the beginning until the end. I think if you analyze the West Ham game, we really start strong. We had the opportunity to win the game by 3-4 goals difference. We didn't score the third and the fourth goal. We just gave away. We conceded a goal really easily in a throw-in, and I think you can't give any hope to your opponent when you are Chelsea. So after that, the second half was more difficult in terms of performance, and again, I think in terms of high standards, you can't concede a goal at the last minute of the stoppage time. I think you need to be more consistent. You need to be fighting until the end, and you need to win your duels when it's needed. So yeah, we just learned that from that game, and I think tomorrow we need to be aggressive. That's a semi-final. We will be facing a team who will be hugely motivated, and I think in terms of mentality, it will be really important for us to show up.
Great, cheers.
Thank you.
I think that's a good place to leave it. Thanks very much, everybody, and have a
Thank
lovely
you.
weekend.